to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Very honored to be here today on this most auspicious day. And I have prepared for you some nice things to help us appreciate and see who is this Srimati Radharani. First, some philosophy, because that is required. But then, I have 3 special episodes that I have never spoken of in public concerning the birth of Radhaji, the marriage of Krishna and Radharani, and also how Radha and Krishna originally fell in love. So that is my presentation tonight. These episodes about Srimati Radharani are found in a book called Garga Sanghita, which I stumbled upon last year. The translation is by my good friend and god brother Kushakrata Das, and the purports were done by another friend of mine, His Holiness Danavir Swami. So let's hear some philosophy about Srimati Radharani. Everyone say, Jai Radhe! So, this first verse you are familiar with, and I would recommend this is one verse you definitely want to commit to memory. Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. So Tapta Kanchana, the complexion of Srimati Radharani, molten gold, same color as Krishna's dhoti. Gora, thus she has a fair complexion. She is Vrindavaneshwari. She is the queen of Vrindavan. Sometimes, according to the context, Yashoda Devi is called Queen of Vrindavan, but in the highest sense, Radharani is the Queen of Vrindavan. Vrishabhanu Sute, daughter of King Vrishabhanu, which we will hear about. And therefore, Devi, O goddess, and we will hear how much of a goddess. Pranamami, I offer my respects. Everybody say, Hari Priye, one who is very, very dear to Lord Krishna. Hari Priye. Now, some more philosophy about Radharani. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, one whole chapter is dedicated to understanding Srimati Radharani. But I have selected the quintessence, the, how you can say, the rubbery, the key of this chapter. Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. Everybody say. And Radha is the enchantress of Govinda. Radha is the be-all and end-all of Govinda. And Radha is the crest jewel of all of Krishna's consorts. Now comes one of my favorite shlokas. I have to speak on this shloka every year because it's so dear to me. Maybe we could repeat. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohani Para. So I would normally go over each word, but Krishnadas Kaviraj does that for us in his writings. He writes. So this is his explanation of that verse. The transcendental goddess, Srimati Radharani, is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. Radha is the central figure for all goddesses of fortune. Radha possesses all the attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead, Krishna. Radha is the primeval internal potency of Lord Krishna. The word Devi means resplendent, most beautiful. Or else the word Devi means the lovely abode of the worship and love sports of Lord Krishna. The words Krishna Mai means one who's within and without our Lord Krishna. For Radha sees Krishna wherever Radha casts her glance. Or the term Krishna Mai means that Radha is identical with Lord Krishna, for Radha embodies the mellows of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with Krishna. Radha's worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling the desires of Lord Krishna. Therefore, the Puranas call her, everybody say, Radhika. So, next, Krishnadas Kaviraj explains the only time in the entire 18,000 shlokas Radha's name appears, but it appears hidden in the word Anya Radhita. The night of the Rasa dance, Krishna left all the gopis and went alone with Radha deeper into the forest of Vraja. When Krishna left all the other gopis and went with Radharani, the gopis said, "Aha! That gopi must have worshipped Krishna the best, better than all of us, for Krishna has left all of us and gone with her." So that is the only time Shukadeva Goswami even utters, because Shukadeva Goswami was on such a level of spiritual consciousness that if he had actually uttered Shree Radha, he would have gone into a trance and Bhagavatam would not have been completed. So he purposely did not utter the name, which we can, Radha. Everybody. Radhika. Therefore, so next Krishnadas Kaviraj says, therefore Radha is Parama Devata, the supreme goddess, and Radha is worshipable for everyone, even me. Worshipable, everyone should worship Radha. Radha is the protectress of all And Radha is the mother of the entire universe. Radha is the original source of all goddesses of fortune. The phrase Sarva Lakshmi indicates that Radha fully represents the six opulences of Krishna: wealth, beauty, fame, strength, wisdom, and renunciation. Those are the six opulences. Radha represents them. You may say, wait a second, she has the opulence of strength? She's only a woman. She's so powerful that she can control he who is the most powerful. Normally, Krishna is Ajita, but in front of Rani, he becomes Jita. I told that story on Saturday, how Krishna manifested 4 arms in front of the gopis. The gopis paid their obeisances to Narayan, but when Radharani came, the 2 extra arms melted away, and Krishna had to reveal that it was actually him pretending to be Narayan, which means Radha is more powerful than Krishna. This represents Krishna's 6 opulence. Therefore, Radha is the supreme energy of Lord Krishna. The word Sarvakanti indicates that all beauty and luster rest in Radha's body. All the Lakshmis derive their beauty from her, Radha. Kanti may also mean all the desires of Lord Krishna. All the desires of Lord Krishna rest in Radharani. All of Krishna's desires. Radhika fulfills all the desires of Krishna. This is the meaning of Sarva Kanti. Everybody say. Lord Krishna enchants the world, but Radha enchants even Krishna. Therefore, Radha is the supreme goddess of all. Radha is the full power, and Lord Krishna is the possessor of the full power. The two are non-different as evidenced from the scriptures. They are one, just as musk and its scent are inseparable, or as fire and heat are inseparable. I've given that analogy so many times over the past 20 years. Radha and Krishna are one, just like a flame, but the flame gives off energies, heat and light. And you cannot separate the heat and light from the flame. Radha and Krishna are one, inseparable. Good meditation for understanding Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna are one, yet they have taken 2 forms to enjoy the mellows of pastimes. Yes, even though they're one eternally, they exist separately. That's a spiritual conundrum. It makes no sense on the material platform. Are you ready to hear about this? Is from the Garga Samhita. Sri Bahulashva said, by giving us narrations of Lord Hari's pure glories, you have purified my materialistic family and thus made it auspicious. Just by a moment's touch with a devotee of Krishna, even an ordinary person will become a saint. What more need I say? So what did Krishna do when he came down with Radha to Vraja? O Lord, O great sage, please tell me. Please save me from the 3 miseries of materialistic life. So Bahulashva is hearing and he's hearing from Narada Muni. Narada says, "Please hear the purifying pastimes of Krishna. For the Lord did not only come to kill Kamsa, Krishna also came to protect the devotees. Then, placing her glorious transcendental form in the womb of King Vrishabhanu's wife, known as Kirtida, Shree Radha descended into a great palace in a garden by the shore of Yamuna. In the month of Bhadra, on a Monday, look at that. Today is Monday. At midday, yes, we only have to fast till midday, unlike Krishna, where we have to fast till midnight. When the sky was covered with clouds, to celebrate Radha's descent, the demigods scattered flowers that had blossomed in the Nandana gardens. And because of Radha's descent, the rivers became very pure and clear. All directions became auspicious and happy, and graceful, gentle, cooling breezes carried the pollen of lotus flowers. Gazing upon her daughter, beautiful as hundreds of moons, the Gopi Kirtida became very happy. To bring auspiciousness, Kirtida gave 200,000 cows in charity to the Brahmanas. Rocked by friends in a golden cradle swing, splendid with jewels, like the waxing moon day, Radha grew gradually. Radha, whose form is transcendental, who the great demigods cannot see, and who cannot be attained by performing yajnas for millions of births, was played with, fondled, caressed, and loved by the women in Vrishabhanu's palace. Meditating upon Radha, who is a moon shining in the rasa dance arena, who is a host of bright lamps in the palace of King Vrishabhanu, and who is the central jewel in the necklace of Goloka, I, Narada, wander upon this earth. So we can see again, once again, how elevated is Narada Muni. And after all, he has his veena given to him by Krishna. And when Narada plays the veena, what sound comes out? Radhika Ramana. Everybody say. Radhika Ramana. Radhika Ramana. Here is something that I had heard bits and pieces throughout 40 years of being a devotee, but I never read it in any Shastra. Now, last year when I got this Garga Samhita, finally, the description of Radha and Krishna's wedding. Most confidential. Some of it, anyway, I'll just read it to you, because some of it is inconceivable. Herding the cows and holding his infant son, all right? Krishna is an infant. Nanda Maharaj went to Bandiravan, which trembled with breezes coming from the Yamuna shore. So Krishna is an infant. Then by Krishna's wish, the sky became filled with clouds, and a strong wind fearfully moved the new tamal and kadamba twigs, making them fall. When a great and blinding darkness came, and the frightened infant in his arm cried. So Krishna is playing as a little boy, infant, so he's crying. Nanda became afraid. Clutching his boy, Nanda took shelter of Lord Hari because Nanda doesn't think that Krishna is God. For Nanda, Narayan, Hari is God. So you'll see throughout all of 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Nanda, Yashoda, any of the residents of Vrindavan, as soon as there's any danger, Hari, everybody, Hari, Hari. That is their immediate response. They don't go to their cell phone. No, they immediately call out, Hari. Then, as an effulgence greater than millions of suns converged on him from all directions, Nanda Maharaj saw Vrishabhanu's daughter Radha. So just see how effulgent she is, like millions of suns. Now, contradicting, Radha was as fair and splendid as millions of moons. So first she's dazzling like the sun, and now she's splendid as millions of moons, dressed in blue garments. Krishna wears yellow garments, the color of Radharani. Radharani wears bluish or blackish garments in the color of Krishna. Radha wore tinkling bracelets and a tinkling belt. Radha was splendid with armlets, rings, and a necklace. Radha was opulent with a nose pearl, anklets, a necklace jewel, and earrings. Overwhelmed by her effulgence, Nanda bowed down with folded hands. Here is my son, and you, O Radha, are his first beloved. So again, Krishna is an infant. Nanda is handing infant Krishna. It appears Radha is somewhat grown up. It doesn't say that Radha is in an infant form. So that is what I found most peculiar. According to this, it appears that externally, Radha is some years older than Krishna. I learned this secret from the mouth of Gargamuni. O Radha, please take your Lord from my arms. Now that the clouds have frightened him, please take him home. As if I were a person controlled by the modes of nature, I say that my son is frightened. I offer my respects to you. Please protect me in this world. You are Krishna's dearmost. You are beyond the modes of material nature. That's a nice prayer to offer to Radha. Why not we all do it? Please repeat. I offer my respectful obeisances to Shree Radha. Please protect us in this world. For you are Krishna's dearmost. You are beyond the modes of material nature. What a beautiful statement by Nanda. Hearing these words, Sri Radha, who was as splendid as a host of moons, spoke to the king of the Gopas. O noble-hearted one, you should ask for a benediction, anything you wish, for anything impossible to attain. I am pleased by your sincere devotion. O Nanda, it is very difficult for anyone to see me, and yet, because of Krishna's mercy, we can see Radha and Krishna every day, can we not? Radha is here. This Radha is non-different than the Radha we're hearing about. So whenever we come, we are seeing Radha and Krishna. Even though she says, I'm difficult to see. Nanda replied, if you are pleased, then let me have firm devotion for the lotus feet of both of you. Please let me have devotion for your devotees, and let me have devotees' company. Let me have this millennium after millennium. Narada then said, so be it. With both hands, Radha took Lord Hari from Nanda's arms. When Vraja's King Nanda offered his obeisances, Radha then went to Bandira Vana forest. Then the spiritual ground came down from the realm of Goloka. Within a moment, everything was golden and studded with rubies and jewels. Vrindavan forest then manifested a splendid transcendental form with beautiful desire trees, and the Yamuna shore had jeweled steps and golden palaces. Govardhan hill was made of jewels and had glistening golden peaks everywhere. Maddened bees and caves, beautiful with swiftly flowing streams. It was like a great, gigantic elephant. Then the forest grove assumed its real form, with many assembly houses, courtyards, splendid pavilions, bumblebees, and the cooing of peacocks, pigeons, and cuckoos. It was filled with the sweetness of spring. It was filled with roofs of gold and jewels, splendid with fluttering flags, and anointed with beautiful blossoming, lake-growing golden lotuses, licked by swarms of black bees. Then the Supreme Person, gotta listen to this. All right, Krishna is an infant, right? Radharani seems to be grown up. Now listen. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead became a teenaged youth. That's God. He can change form anytime he likes. He's inconceivable. No restrictions. When I read this, I became so happy that he can immediately manifest teenage form. He was splendid as a dark cloud, dressed in what color garments? Yellow, decorated with Kaustuba gem, holding a flute, and more enchanting than a host of cupids. Smiling, Krishna took his beloved by the arm and with wedding paraphernalia went to the wedding pavilion. Embracing and sweetly conversing on a beautiful throne, Radha and Krishna shone like a splendid lightning flash and a dark cloud in the sky. Radha is the lightning, Krishna is Syam, the dark cloud. Then Lord Brahma, the best of demigods, came down from the sky. Bowing down before Lord Krishna with folded hands, Lord Brahma spoke eloquently and sweetly. Here's what Lord Brahma said. I take shelter of you, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chandra, who is without beginning, who is the beginning of everything, who is affectionate to your devotees, who was the master of countless universes, who is greater than the greatest, who is the husband of Radha. So, Brahma is already recognizing that they are eternally connected. You are the playful thing of Goloka, and Radha is your playful companion. Now, here, Lord Brahma is going to explain to us how Radha and Krishna actually appear on different levels, different planes. Listen. When you are the king of Vaikuntha, Radha is goddess Lakshmi. We already learned that. She is the original source of all the Lakshmis. When Krishna, you are Ramachandra, she is Janaka's daughter, Sita. When you are Lord Hari, Radha is Kamala. When you are Yajna avatar, she becomes Dakshina, the best of wives. When you become Lord Nrsinga, Radha becomes Rama. When you are Nara's friend Narayana Rishi, she becomes goddess Shanti, following you like a shadow. When you are impersonal Brahman, she is Prakriti. When you are time, she becomes Pradhan. When you are the Mahatattva, Radha is the potency Maya, filled with the three modes. When you become the four things in the heart, mind, intelligence, ego, consciousness, she becomes the power of understanding. When you become the universal form, which includes everything, she becomes Mother Earth. I take shelter of you. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, greater than the greatest. A person who regularly recites these prayers describing the divine couple will go to the transcendental abode of Goloka. So I had a selfish motive in reciting this today. I hope you will forgive me. Even in this world, one may be endowed with handsomeness, opulence, and many perfections. Greater than the greatest, you two are perfect for each other. You are already loving husband and wife. Still, following the ways of this world, I will now perform your wedding ceremony. Then Lord Brahma rose up, ignited the sacred fire, which we are going to do today. We're doing sacred fire, Pujari. Yes? We're doing yajna? Abhishek. Oh, okay. Good enough. Brahma ignited the sacred fire and performed the Vedic wedding ceremony of the divine couple, Radha and Krishna. Brahma performed the wedding ceremony, and Brahma had them circumambulate the sacred fire and bow down before it. And then Lord Brahma, the knower of the Vedas, recited the 7 mantras. So I could not find the Sanskrit, but I have the translation of these 7 mantras. Here's the first one. So these are the mantras Radha and Krishna said to each other. Let us provide for our household. Let us stay in good health. And let us carry out our duties and responsibilities to each other, our families, and our tradition. So, that is something that's applicable for us too. Let us develop our mental and spiritual powers. Let us increase our wealth and comfort by righteous and proper means. Let us acquire knowledge, happiness, and harmony by mutual love, respect, and trust. Let us be blessed with a contented family of strong, virtuous, and heroic children. Let us be blessed with long life. Let us remain true companions, committed only to each other. Then, placing Radhika's hand on the chest of Lord Hari, and Lord Hari's hand on the back of Radhika, Lord Brahma recited many mantras. Then with both hands, Radha placed on Lord Krishna's neck a lotus garland filled with humming bees. Then with both hands, Lord Hari placed on Radha's neck a similar garland. Then Lord Brahma had them bow down before the sacred fire. Placing the silent divine couple on two thrones with folded hands, Brahma recited 5 mantras. Then, just as a father gives away his daughter, Brahma gave away Shree Radha. O King Bahulashva, then the demigods showered flowers, and the demigoddesses danced with Vadyadaris. The Gandharvas, Charanas, and Kinnaras sang auspicious songs glorifying Lord Krishna. Again and again, the great demigods in heaven sounded mridangas, veenas, murus, yashtis, bamboo flutes, conch shells, kettle drums, and talakas, calling out, Jai! Everybody say, Jai! Jai! When Lord Hari said to Brahma, please ask whatever you wish as dakshina, Brahma replied to Lord Hari, O Lord, as dakshina, please give me devotion for your lotus feet. Lord Hari agreed, and Brahma again and again placed his head at the beautiful and auspicious feet of both Lord Hari and Radhika. Then, happy and humbly bowing down, Brahma left for his own home. Then, in the forest groves, the personality of Godhead Krishna ate 4 kinds of delicious divine food that his beloved offered, and Radha chewed betel nuts which Krishna offered her. Taking his hand of Radha, Lord Hari walked in the forest grove. Taking swiftly as he gazed at the beautiful Yamuna and many flowering vines, Krishna walked. Krishna laughed and disappeared in a grove of beautiful flowering vines. Seeing him hiding behind a tree, Radha went up to Krishna, grasping his yellow garment. Then, fleeing from Lord Hari's lotus hand, her feet thumping against the ground, Radha disappeared into the forest, but was pulled out again by Lord Hari's hand. In the beautiful secluded place of the Rasa dance arena, Lord Hari enjoyed the nectar of the Rasa dance with Shree Radha. Lord Hari, the transcendental master of amorous pastimes, walked in Vrindavan forest, filled with flowering vines and the sounds of peacocks and bees. Lord Hari danced with Radha in the caves of Govardhan Hill, by the lakes and swiftly moving streams, rapids and waterfalls. When they came to the Yamuna, Krishna enjoyed a charming pastime. Taking 100,000 petal lotus from Radha's hand, Krishna suddenly dove into the water of the Yamuna. Laughing, Radha quickly took Lord Hari's flute, stick, and yellow cloth. Then Lord Hari said, "Oh, give me back my flute." But Radha mocked Krishna and said, "No, you give me back my lotus." Lord Hari, the master of the demigods, then gave Radha back her lotus, and Radha gave Lord Hari his flute, stick, and yellow cloth. And they continued to enjoy pastimes on the shore of the Yamuna. Then, in Bandiravana forest, with many flowers and many colors, Lord Krishna beautifully decorated his beloved. As Radha was about to decorate him, Lord Krishna suddenly abandoned his teenage form and once again became an infant. Krishna became an infant, crawling on the ground and crying, just as Nanda had given him before. When Radha saw Lord Hari in this way, Radhika cried out, "O Lord Hari, why do you show me this illusion?" As despondent Radha wept, a voice in the sky said, "O Radha, do not lament, for in time your desires will be fulfilled." Hearing this, Radha took Lord Hari and quickly went to the home of Vraja's queen Yashoda, giving the child back to Nanda's wife. Radha then said, "Your husband gave Krishna to me on the path." Then Yashoda replied, "O Radha, O daughter of Vrishabhanu, you are indeed most fortunate. For when the sky was covered with clouds and my child became frightened, you protected him." After Radha was greatly honored and her transcendental virtues praised, Vrishabhanu's daughter Radha, taking permission from Mother Yashoda, slowly returned to her own home. Here is your blessing. You're about to get a benediction. Listen to your benediction. Are you ready for your benediction? For those who actually listen. Sin will never touch anyone who hears, reads, or recites this auspicious and confidential narration of the wedding of Shree Radha. So if you were listening, you are now freed from sin. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya RadhaRaman Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya RadhaRaman Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya RadhaRaman Hari Govinda 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 Jaya Jaya. RadhaRaman Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. RadhaRaman Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Hari Gopala Hari. Jai Rama Hari, Jai Krishna Hari. Radhe, Jaya Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shree Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shree Radhe. Jai Jai RadhaRaman Hari Bol. 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 Jai RadhaRaman Hari Bol. Jai Jai RadhaRaman Hari Bol. Jai Jai RadhaRaman Hari Bol. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jai Shree Radhe. Bolo. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jaya Shree Radhe. Jaya Krishna, Jaya Krishna Krishna, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Sri Krishna. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Shyama Gauri, Nitya Kishori, Pritama Jori, Sri Radhe. Rasika Rasilo, Chaila Chabilo, Gunagarabilo, Sri Krishna. Bolo. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri. Everybody. Jaya. Rasa Viharani, Rasa Vistarani, Piya Urudharani, Sri Radhe. Nava Navarangi, Navalatri Bhangi, Syama Suangi, Sri Krishna. Bolo. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. Everybody. Prana Piyari, Rupa Ujari, Ati Sukanvari, Shree Radhe. Maina Manohara, Mahamodakara, Sundara Bharatara, Sri Krishna. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Everybody chant. Jaya. Shobha Shayani, Moba Mayani, Kokila Bayani, Shree Radhe. Kirati Vanta, Kamani Kanta, Sri Bhagavanta, Sri Krishna. Bolo, Jai Radhe. Everybody, Jai. Chanda Bhadani, Kunda Ravani, Sobha Sadani, Shree Radhe. Parama Udara, Prabha Apara, Ati Sukanvara, Sri Krishna. Jai Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Everybody. Hamsa Gavani, Rajati Ravani, Krida Kavani, Sri Radhe. Rupa Rasala, Naina Bisala, Parama Kripala, Sri Krishna. Bolo, Jai Radhe. Jaya Krishna, Jaya Krishna Krishna, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Sri Krishna. Bolo. Kanchana Bailey, Rati Rasa Raili, Ati Allah Bailey, Sri Radhe. Shabashuka Shagara, Shabaguna Agara, Rupa Ujagara, Sri Krishna. Bolo, Jai Radhe. Jaya Krishna, Jaya Krishna Krishna, Jaya Sri Krishna, Jaya Sri Krishna. Bolo, Jaya Krishna. Jaya Krishna, Jaya Ravani Ramya, Tarataratamya, Guna Agamya, Sri Radhe. Dhamani Vasi, Prabha Prakasi, Sahaja Suhasi, Sri Krishna. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe. Bolo, Jai Krishna, Jaya Krishna Krishna, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Sri Krishna. Shakya Ladini, Ati Priya Vadini, Ura Madini, Sri Radhe. Anga Anga Tauna, Sarasa Salauna, Subhaga Sutauna, Sri Krishna. Bolo, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Sri Radhe. Bolo, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Krishna Krishna, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Sri Radha Namani, Guna Abhiramani, Hari Priya Swamini, Sri Radhe. Hare Hare Hari, Hare Hare Hari Hare Hare Hari. Sri Krishna Jai Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe. Everybody. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Sri Sri Radhastami ki